Hey guys, it's Babakinkin, and I've been kind of refining how I've been drawing faces lately, so I figured I'd do a tutorial on it. Um, I did this basically to show the three different ways I've got of doing it, but I'll add in some tips as well, so here we go! Okay, so the main reason I've kind of developed these steps, I'd say, is so that it's easier to draw faces at like different weird angles, because you're used to drawing them just, straight on like this, and you might do it to the side a bit, that kind of way, but if you want to do something where they're like looking up or looking down like that, then it can get really difficult to kind of figure out where to put stuff. Though you can use this on basic forward facing or any of the usual kind of bland angles that you want to draw. Okay, so on the first example I start off with one of these three ways. I either draw the circle for where the cranium's going to be, I draw the crosshairs for where I want it to be facing, or I draw basically the shape of the face. Okay, so the first one, if I draw the cranium first, that allows me to draw a circle, and with these it doesn't matter which way it's going to be facing, there's always going to be a circle as a base, so you can do that, and then the second step you can just add in the crosshairs wherever you want. And then you can just draw in the shape of the face going along with the way you've put the crosshairs, and then you've pretty much got the back of the head sorted because you've already drawn the circle. So I'll just do a few of these to show. And these really don't have to be tidy, I mean this is just sort of a base I'll use, so the crosshairs aren't exactly where they should be, like this one doesn't go straight to the middle, so you've got to think about that when you're fixing it up, but this is just a general idea to understand where you're gonna put everything on the face. Okay, so the next technique I use is the one where I draw the crosshairs first. So I'll draw a line here and I'll do a few of both, with a few of each so I can show. So what I'll do is I'll draw the crosshairs where I want it to be facing, like boop, boop. And it doesn't have to be, the lines can go off wherever you want. I could do this and then put it down here, and as long as I fill it in with kind of the head shape that I want after, then it doesn't really matter where the lines go, and this can really help with like getting a flow into it. It's a lot easier to keep the energy if you're just using like huge lines like this, and then whew. The thing is with this, it's sort of harder to go and fill in the shape because you don't have a circle to rely on. I mean, you can add that in if you want, but just see where it goes. Okay, so they're done, and the next one is to just kind of draw the shape of the face. So with this, you kind of have to know where you want it to be warping, so it's not really as easy. I think this is easier if you're just drawing simple straight on poses, but you can. If you know the basic shape of what the head is, then it's easier to warp it, and I kind of do this as if you're drawing, say the head's like this, you're just drawing this front part of the face, so the features are going to be on that part, so this is the part that you're drawing, and just ignore this part, and that's the bit that you add in later. Okay, and the next step, this one's actually quite good because you can draw like really vague shapes and still make faces out of them. Because you might draw one and it might look like it's facing one way, but it could also be facing another because the shape is so vague. It's like it's sort of up to you to find the face in the shape. And now I can And now I can add in this. Add in the back of the head to give it a bit more depth so it isn't just the front of the face. Okay, now before I move on to the next step of adding in where all the features will be, I want to show you another trick that I kind of figured out. I was having a lot of trouble with figuring out where the mouth goes or what kind of shape it should be. Now we know the face it gets like a rounded sort of curved shape like this, even though it's sort of, it goes up for the nose and then down for the eyes and then to the side. But in general, when you're drawing crosshairs and stuff, it'll just be one big curved shape, and it's the same kind of thing with the mouth. So if you've got the eyes on one mark on the crosshairs, you can add another one for the mouth, like that. And then, depending on the angle, it can help a lot, because if it's pointed down, it'll obviously be, well, oh my god, I can't draw today, curving that way. I'll just add this in on a few of them to show you how it can make things easier, because I'll probably, when I go and fill these in, I'll probably end up messing up a few of them. So this can also really help with if you have trouble with not really fitting everything on the face, because people might be able to fit the eyes on, and then they'll put the nose down here, and then there'll be like no room for a mouth, and they'll just have like a tiny little chin, which is probably learned from like anime stuff. But if that's the style you're going for, then fair enough. But some people like have trouble fitting everything on the face, which I did, and this has really helped a lot with actually getting everything on the face. Okay, so the next thing I want to do before I move on to the next thing is draw in basically the neck and the shoulders, because it's not really any use to draw in floating heads. So what I like to do, if you can't see the neck, then I use sort of diamond shape, because see where the collarbones sort of join up and go up to the shoulders over here, they kind of make this kind of shape, and you can use that for, and the neck will be like joining here, but if you can't see it, then you've just got that kind of shape and then the shoulders. And like with anything, it's just kind of a case of manipulating the shape to fit, depending on the angle you're using. And don't be afraid of like overlapping it. See how like it's overlapping depending on where it is. Don't be afraid to overlap it, because that's gonna happen anyway. Okay, so now we've got a page full of basically poses for 3 of the different techniques. And the next step is, after I've done the neck, adding in the facial features. So we're going to add in where the eyes are, where the nose is, and where the mouth is. So first of all, the crosshairs at the top, first line on it is where we want to add the eyes in, and we know the eyes are about an eye apart from each other, and they go about halfway down the face, but I'll kind of be varying from that because my style and stuff. Now where this really helps, drawing the circles in to map where the features are, is that you're not worried with these kind of weird angles. You don't get worried about overlapping the nose. Say you draw the eyes, you draw them straight in like this, and then you go and draw the nose, and you're like, oh, where does it actually? That's probably not that bad, but you might worry and sort of put it down here because you don't want to overlap it with the eyes. But since you've just got circles where everything is, then you can just just plop in the nose like that, plop in a big old circle, and then you're not worrying about overlapping it with the eyes, so you don't have to worry once you go into actually drawing them in properly. Now I'll show you with drawing the mouth, and it's pretty much already where this curve is, but you know, you can just draw it in like that, simple as. You know where it is already because you've put that line in, and then you've got, you know, plenty of chin without having a tiny chin, which you know, if you drew the nose too big. This also helps on this kind of angle because, you know, weird angle like this, it's like, oh god, where do I put the mouth, where do I put the nose, everything's going to overlap and you start panicking, so, you know, just boop, stick the nose on. Stick it on straight like that, boop, and then, you know, the mouth's below it, but that doesn't matter because, see, you can tell where everything is when you do it like this, and it looks fine, and you're not worrying about it because it doesn't immediately look straight like a face, like a fully rendered face, so it's fine. And if you don't clean up your, I'm not cleaning up my crosshairs obviously because I'm sort of used to just working with scribbles, but if you're going straight in, you shouldn't follow ones that you know are off. Like if I followed this and did one eye here and one eye up here, it's obviously wrong and wonky and gross. So if you're not that used to working with scribbles, you might want to go in and just kind of fix it up a little bit so it's more at the angle you want so that you can follow it before you go and add anything in. And like I said, remember that mouths kind of curve around the face. Like, it comes in like that, and then the mouth usually goes round and up a bit because, you know, teeth and stuff and lips. And like I said on the previous one, if you don't clean up the crosshairs, you might end up with the eyes maybe too far down like I have done on this one, but, you know, just correct it a bit, it's fine. Don't worry about having to correct things. One more. Oh, that looks a bit gammy, I'd better correct that one. See, sometimes even if I don't correct stuff, it catches me off guard if it's a weird angle, so, you know. But because I've got the base of where I want everything, then it's a lot easier for me to go and correct it and get everything right. The ones that are going to be the most off in terms of the crosshairs are probably these ones where you draw the crosshair first because you're, you know, just kind of flailing it around to try and get the energy. So they're probably the ones that are going to need the correcting most because when you've drawn the cranium first, it's not as off because you know where it's got something to curve around. And now we can use where I've mapped in the mouth again. Where's the other one that I've done that on? Or didn't I do it? Oh no, there it is. Okay, so... And again, keep in mind that it kind of curves around the top of the head too. And you always want to join the bottom in the middle of the chin. Or the bottom of the crosshairs will go in the middle of the chin because it goes straight down the middle of the face. And again, with doing these, it can kind of help you with placement of where everything goes. Like, you might not be able to put the eyes in the correct place, but if you just play around with the circles, say you might put them too close together and it looks off, you'll be able to tell that before you actually fully go in and spend time rendering it. So maybe you just need to, you know, try doing this a few times until you can get everything sort of in the right place before you go in and draw it. Something I found useful as well is, you know, say someone's looking up in this direction, the eyes will kind of, we know the eyes will kind of make that shape if they're looking in that direction, so I'll draw them less as circles and more as like ovals looking up, because I know that the shape of the eye when it's finished is sort of going to be a bit more like that as opposed to a round shape. There we go, now we got some more bases to fill in. Okay, something else that I forgot to mention actually is that sometimes I like to draw in the eyebrows before I do the eyes. So that, you know, that, like the using the other crosshairs for the mouth keeps the mouth where I want it, the eyebrows kind of keep the eyes where I want them. So if I draw those in first, then I know the eyes are going to go, you know, it gives me a smaller distance to have to deal with. I know if I've got the mouth and the eyebrows, I know the eyes and the nose are going to be between here and here. And it also helps me keep the forehead to kind of size that I want. So it's kind of working from the top and the bottom and then going inwards rather than working from the middle by doing the eyes and the nose first. It also helps with weird angles like this because you can draw in the eyebrows to, you know, tell the shape of the face again. Because the more someone's looking down, the more the eyebrows are gonna kind of overlap with the eyes. And the more they're looking up, then the more the eyebrows will be, well, I mean, the shorter the forehead's going to be, and the more the eyebrows will overlap with that. And then, if you draw the eyebrows in, you can figure out where the ears will be. So we know the ears are between the eyebrows and the nose. So you draw a shape from those, depending on the angle, going down to the side of the face, and then you can draw the ears in. And again, you can just do this with a circle, and you know, you'll be able to figure out if it looks right before you actually go and commit to drawing anything. And again, the same thing with the ears. If someone's looking more up, they're going to go further down because of the angle. And if they're looking down, they're going to go further up, like that, because, you know, everything keeps to this curve of the face. Okay, so now we've got a set of bases to use and draw faces onto. Okay, so this is the point now where I'll probably go in and like start noodling all the details out. So I'll go and do that and I'll speed it all up for you. Hey guys, Baban again. Yeah, the main thing I wanted to mention again with this is I'm not really showing you any of the actual drawing that I'm doing in detail or really explaining that, because I think that's more about style and it's more about actually learning how stuff works and how to draw it. So I've just gone over how to build it, but I don't want to explain my style. This is just showing that if you make a base, then you can put your own style onto it. And also because I didn't want to just show you how to draw the bases and then not show you how you can use them, because that'd be dumb. Plus, I don't really do much sketchy stuff on here, do I? So I thought, you know, I'll make my sketchy stuff into something, even though it's a bit shit. An A points to anyone who knows the artist I've been looking a lot at lately, because it's showing a bit in my art and it's making me sort of cringe a bit, because I'm not sure if it's too obvious or not, but yeah, it's good, man. Some good shit. Another thing with these is that I'll do the base and then I'll do one sketch, and that'll be like the basic idea, and it'll be shitty looking like this is now. This looks really bad, but I do that, and then I'll go over it again with the next sketch, and that's usually the base sketch. I work from the second sketch is what I'll do line art after, so base, this sketch, first sketch that I'm doing now, and then I'll fix it up a bit to make sure it's how I want it, and then I'll do line art. I did try and do one of them with the pen tool, but I don't know if it turned out that well. I'm still trying to figure out how to get the pen tool how I like it. Another thing, don't be scared to like fucking shit up, because throughout the whole process I'm making a complete fucking mess. I don't know, you just gotta like, about halfway through it starts looking really shit, and that's when you've got to think to yourself, you know, if I keep going it'll get better. And eventually it does, sort of, but yeah. If you keep going, I promise it won't be as shit as it's looking when you're in the middle of it, trust me. Okay, here I go with the clean-up sketch, now look. So, like, if the last one was messy, I just kind of fix everything and make the lines look a little bit nicer, like, not really perfect, like, exactly like the line art will be, but enough so I know where to put the really thick lines and where to not put any lines. Ooh, yeah, I really need to find a new brush. I don't like this one at all. It's too... I thought I liked it at first, because it's kind of good for the first couple of sketches, but once you get into trying to do lines nice, it kind of sucks. I think I need to try making, like, my own brushes, or, you know, like, messing about with them to try and get them to make the right shape or something, yeah. Oh god, these look so ugly. Ew. I hope this is helping someone, because showing these are making me feel gross. And hey now, if anyone's got any video suggestions, I'm up for me. Someone suggested a pose one, so I'm probably going to do that next. I was thinking about doing one on how to do commissions and stuff, like what kind of information you've got to have down, because I've been doing a lot of those lately, and it's good. It's good, people are buying my shit, it's good, yeah. I forgot what I was talking about. I like how that baby looks. he looks really pissed off and sad. That's the one I did with the pen tool. I think some of the ideas for these are sort of okay, but I haven't really drawn them that well. They sort of look like ass. But, bleh. I don't know, I need to practice more. I need to practice more. I don't know, I find it easier to draw stuff when I've got sort of a base for a character, so I know what I'm doing and I'm not just messing about with shapes, because it kind of goes all sorts of ways and it doesn't really end up making any sense. Okay, so it's finished. I do really like the way that baby looks. He looks really sad and angry. Look at his face. That's the best one of the bunch. He looks so stupid. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll leave links to my DeviantArt, my Tumblr, and my commission info in the description, and I'll leave a link to the other video that I did on how to draw eyes, because, you know, that's probably a good thing to go on to next if you just follow this through and learn how to draw the bases. So, yeah, good luck with your art, nerds. Bye!